I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activity. I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activity. Posted up on the island with a bitch. They call me cause I ain't on that dumb shit.
What up, what up, what up, what up, nieces and nephews? Welcome back to Unc Be Streaming with your favorite Unc that be streaming. I would hope to be interesting show planned for you guys today. You know, the world has been really political lately. I'm not really big on talking about politics, especially to other people, but Unc would talk to you guys about it. I don't like debating about politics because I'm a really logical person and I don't like to put a lot of emotion into things. And it's just certain things you just can't talk about with people because they're just too emotional. And I'm the type of person that once I see that the conversation ain't about the facts or logic, and it's all about how a person feels, I don't even want any part of the conversation. What's up, MS Best? So before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Like, subscribe, comment, and please share. It doesn't cost you a penny, a nickel, or a dime. Also, if you want to support the channel, the Cash App $ Unc Be Streaming is going to be down there the whole time. And yes, I am late because I have a real life. And life be lifing. So, today we're going to talk about the alleged sins of a black conservative. There are a whole lot of, in my opinion, misconceptions and things of that nature about a black person that choose to be conservative. And what does it mean to be conservative? To you, what does it mean in general? See, the problem with being conservative is that in today's society, people have assigned their own definitions to being conservative in order to weaponize that term. They like to weaponize the term conservative. People like to redefine lots of things to then weaponize it and use it as an attack or insult. When did it even become a bad thing to be conservative? I would think being conservative would be a good thing, a positive thing. You don't want to be out there just living like it's the fucking purge, living off your emotions, living off the sheer lizard brain. I think the opposite of living off lizard brain, primal fucking instincts, is being conservative. Now, just like with everything, there's levels to it. And we're going to get into that. But again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Like, subscribe, comment, and please share. So, a little history and backstory about me. I'm 47 years old, 15-year military vet. Salute 18th letter. 47 years old, been married 22 years, 4 kids, 1 woman, 15-year military vet, 4-time, um, 4-time war veteran. Went to Iraq twice, Afghanistan twice, did a year and a half in Korea, but even though they had that standoff with North Korea, it's technically not an active war. But I still had to be away from my family for a year and a half. Had a ball in Korea though, not gonna lie. But you still miss your loved ones. No matter how much how much fun you're having, right? So that's about me. Like I say, married, 22 years, 4 kids, 1 woman, military vet, 15 years, got a bachelor's degree in logistics and supply chain management, got an associate's degree in digital film production. Funny to that though, I was a high school dropout. I had to get my GED in the 10th grade, not for intellectual problems, it was behavioral problems. I grew up in Louisiana in the hood, raised by wolves, skipping school, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. I threw a backpack at the principal, hit him in the chest one time because he pissed me off. Boom, they kicked me to alternative school. I said, fuck that shit. I ain't going to an alternative school. When he got a little bullshit job, dropped out. About 19 years old, went to take my GED test, passed it on the first time. After that, college, military, degrees, and all that stuff. I said all that to say that I'm not some kind of snooty, trust fund baby, all that kind of stuff. All the stuff you could think in the hood, all the Tyler Perry movie shit. I experienced all of that except for sexual abuse, thank God. Physically, verbal, financial, emotional, abuse, neglect, all that went on through my life. But at the same time, and that didn't happen, and I didn't like it. But I didn't choose to become a victim because of it. And because I didn't choose to become a victim from slavery, which was 400-500 years ago, not saying it didn't happen, not saying it doesn't have some ripple effects to this day. But at this point, the ripple effects of slavery to a person that actually wants something in his life, it's like dropping a marble in a swimming pool as big as the ocean. Those little ripples ain't really anything substantial, anything that's going to really rock the boat. And because I believe that no matter what was your upbringing, what you went through, where you came from, that you still can achieve, you still can succeed, you still can become. That the man ain't holding you down, and I'm not an internal victim. Because I believe that, I get called a damn coon. I get called a conservative douchebag. What kind of things do most conservatives traditionally believe in? What? Nuclear family? Religion? That babies shouldn't be deleted as a form of birth control? That a biological man can never become a woman regardless of the amounts of surgeries, and vice versa? That is only two sexes, two genders, male and female? that I don't have to call you what you identify as, because what about what I identify you as? Why does what you identify as trump the reality of what I see in front of me? So if you believe in those things, then you're a villain, especially in the Black community. If you believe that you are the master of your own destiny, not saying that I'm rich, not saying that I'm wealthy or nothing like that, but if you believe that if you put some effort into things, some effort into life, you can be some level of a success regardless of the color of your skin. If you believe that, you are a dirty conservative and a conservative douchebag. What's going on, Nidus? What's good, brother? Those are the sins, the alleged sins of the Black conservative, because we don't play the victim card. We ain't RNs, aka real niggas. I personally would rather be a coon to real niggas than be their version of what a real nigga is any day of the goddamn week.
Oh my
God. Now, I get it. As I said, there's level to these things. You got far left, you got far right, you got a little closer in, you got right-leaning left, you got left-leaning right, you got people in the middle just don't stand for nothing, right? I personally don't really connect with extremists in any group, in any ideology, theology, concept, group, whatever. Me and the extremists of that group usually gonna lose each other once they start getting to the extremes. Of course, on the left, they lose me a whole lot earlier than on the right. The right loses me with the racism and the prejudice and some of the bigotry that comes from the far, far, far right. The left lose me as soon as they trying to talk about, they lose me with their pro-choice shit. And where they lose me on that is that their argument that an embryo is just a clump of cells and not a human. And I always challenge them to be like, name me one human adult that's alive now, a child that's alive now that wasn't an embryo at some point. An embryo is a part of the cycle of life of human existence. You can't take that part of life out without eliminating that human existence. Therefore, if you delete an embryo or a fetus, you clearly and logically killed a human. You killed a person, because That's just a phase of that person's existence. It's not, like I said, it's not a person alive today that wasn't a fetus. It's like if I destroy all the seeds in the world, there wouldn't be any more trees. Is a seed a tree? You can't have one without the other. If you're planting veggies or whatever you plant to grow the tomato, you can't eliminate that step in the process, even though that little seed is not a juicy red, fully developed tomato. It's still, the tomato would never exist without you planting that seed and letting it grow and all that. Therefore, if I snatch that seed off the ground, I ended that tomato existing. Nope. We gotta listen. I did not say the left is losing me only over baby deletion. I say they lose me right there. It doesn't take much. The moment you try to justify taking life for convenience, and you try to justify it in an illogical way by saying that's not a life, when it's a part of life. Being a fetus is a part of all our lives. We all have been one. How is a fetus not a human when every human has been a fetus? So I get lost right there. Then we can get into, the you can be what you want to be. You can identify as this. The weird pronoun shit. I know the English language. I'm as American as apple pie. I don't know any other languages. And I know if I look at one person, I shouldn't call one individual they or them. Simple as that. I know that all the sex that has ever occurred on this planet has been between man and woman, woman and woman, or man and man. And those three things I described all consist of, you only can pull two different groups out of those three scenarios I described. Like I said, man and woman, woman and woman, man and man. Out of all three described, the only two things in there is man and woman. So that's all can exist. You can switch it up and throw all this weird stuff on it, but in the end, it's either gonna be a man fucking a woman fucking a man, or a woman fucking a woman, or a man fucking a man. That's all it's gonna be. That's all it can be. One of those two things in the situation, or two of those two things, one or two of those, whatever. That's just it. That's the only combo to it. You can take man and woman and mix it up how you like, but that's all you got to work with. They're the only two ingredients. And that's just basic biology and basic observable reality and common fucking sense and logic. But you believe that, you're evil, you're mean, you're a conservative douchebag. You the wicked conservative. What is the problem with believing that hard work pays off? What's the problem with believing that you get out of life what you put into it? What's the problem with showing a level of human decency and having a solid moral compass? Prime example, the Charlie Kirk situation. Do I agree with everything he said? No. Do I think everything he said was true? To a degree, but he kind of like one of those people that zone in on the points that work for him to create a narrative and leave out other stuff. He did all that. Whatever. That's irrelevant. But because I see it as problematic to rejoice and celebrate the assassination of a man in broad daylight in the United States of America in front of his fans, his wife, and his kids, because I think it's monstrous and ghoulish and just evil to rejoice and celebrate in cold-blooded murder. I am a coon.
Oh, hell no.
I am the bad guy because I'm not okay with motherfucking assassination because of difference of opinion.
Oh, my God.
I'm the bad guy, right? How, Sway? How? The alleged sins of the black conservative, because I don't believe that an able-bodied woman should be on Section 8, WIC, food stamps, welfare, and Medicaid from the ages of fucking 16 to death. She got a newborn, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 5-year-old, and a 6-year-old, and one in the belly. Clearly, she got a lot of energy because she showed doing a whole lot of fucking. So, since I believe if you could do all that fucking and kid making, how about you take some of that energy and fill out some job applications and get off the system? I'm a motherfucking bad guy. I'm a coon, a conservative douchebag, because I feel motherfuckers that had the mental and physical capacity to work should fucking work.
Oh, hell no.
Because I think those social programs, see, like I said, you have extremists. I'm a conservative, yes. I'm a conservative, okay? However, I understand the kids got to eat and those programs exist. However, it's the parents' job to worry about those kids eating. But we live in a society where people can be piss poor and failures and underachieve because they know for the sake of their children that someone is going to step up. At what point is your help hurting people? That's what a lot of liberals don't get. A lot of democrats. I call them democrats. Y'all call them Democrats. I call them democrats. A lot of things the democrats don't get is that, are you really helping these people or hurting them? Are you enabling them? Are you being their crutch so that they can never walk on their own? They can never heal properly and grow. Are you stifling their growth? Sometimes you gotta just throw the motherfucker in the pool and be like, it is sink or swim time, nigga. You 35 years old. But that's evil. That's conservative douchebag shit. That's the wicked. That's that wicked conservative shit right there. To be like, yo, you gotta try at life, you know. I mean, one time I was somewhere waiting on something at some appointment, and it was two girls in there, and one of them was talking. I think she was like 26, 27, and she was pretty much saying that she never had a job in her life. She had 3 kids. She was 26, and she was saying she'd been on all those things since she was 16. She's like, and you gotta understand, when these people be talking about this stuff, they be bragging. They take pride in that shit. So if they bragging and taking pride in it, you think they ever gonna take the steps to not fucking do it? To not fucking be a parasite? No. See, it's a certain mindset out there where they call that winning. They would say we the dummies for working. Now at the same time, they hate on and envy the lifestyles and the life we have. But as a coping mechanism, they would say that we the dumb ones because they got a house, even though it's a Section 8 house, which some of them can be nice, but you got to deal with all the shit that comes with that. And they got food, SNAP, and they got all this stuff that we the real suckers, because they got similar stuff to what we have without leaving the fucking house. So they celebrate that shit. I personally think that those programs should have like a time frame. And let me explain it, what I mean by that. So in the Army, right? You get out the Army, you get something called the Post 9/11 GI Bill. That's 36 months, aka three calendar years of college. Do as you see fit with it. Most people already took some courses while they was in active duty, or some of the military courses you took can get converted into college credits. And so you can actually use that 36 months in most cases to get a bachelor's and an associate, like your boy did. But that's not the point. Well, the program works like this. You got 36 months of school. If you go to school for 6 months, you got 30 months. If you want to change your major and try something else and go to school for another 8 months, you got 22 months left. If you switch up and want to throw all that out the window and do something else, that's how it go. You can go get a degree. You can jibber jab, play and fuck off. You can use it all in all straight. You can use it in sections, but whenever you use it, what's gone is gone. That's how I feel like you should be on these programs. In your adult life, you should get 3 or 5 years where you can be on these things. If you want to use all the 5 years in a row of being on welfare, Section 8, you want to use all the 5 years in a row, that's it. You ain't got nothing else. So it'll behoove you to use it when you need it, get back on your feet, turn off the benefits, do your thing. If something happen and you fall off, you activate it for another 3-6 months, get back on your feet. See, if they had like a certain amount of months they can use the benefits, they wouldn't be as prone to staying on it that long. And it ain't no resets, it ain't no extensions, it ain't no add-ons. You get 3 or 5 years, whatever the law be, and once it's gone for life. Unless you have some kind of situation happen where you physically not equipped to work and take care and provide for yourself, and then you can get reinstated into the program. And that's the thing. Most conservatives, we ain't no evil monsters. We understand the nuances. We understand the guy that had the car wreck and paralyzed, the guy in the wheelchair, the guy with Parkinson's or all that kind of stuff might need some Section 8 welfare, food stamps, blah, 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 because he's not able to work as long and as hard as a fully functioning. We get that. We talking about, like I said, the motherfuckers 20-something, fucking every weekend, pushing all babies, clubbing and partying, but ain't trying to work because they don't want to lose their benefits. They've been doing that shit for 5-10 years. What up, A-Dub? It's hard out here for a conservative person, man. I'm public enemy number 1. So what is it that liberals hate so much about conservative people? Like I said, when did being conservative become a bad thing? When did believing in family, God, structure, ethics, hard work, standing on your own, turning something into nothing, when did this become a bad thing? Make it make sense. So and they hate you. It gets bad. It gets bad. They down there want to fight you. You're definitely gonna get called all kinds of names. If I was sensitive or respected these people, I might be offended, maybe even hurt to be called a coon by my favorite my fellow black man. But when a nigga call me a coon, not a black person, when a nigga call me a coon, I take that shit as a badge of honor. Yeah. Because in my mind, that means that I'm probably doing something right. Just like when a woman calls me mean or misogynistic or anything like that, I know it makes me feel like I'm doing something right, because they usually don't call you those things when you're kissing their ass, doing what they say, and letting them get away with shit and never calling nothing out. So I firmly believe that if a woman likes everything I say and agree with everything I say, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably on some bullshit. So let's check out something real quick. I pulled up this guy. By the way, it's funny that black people are so anti-conservative. When you think about it, we come from being conservative. Most black people are highly religious. What's more religious than being conservative? I mean, what's more conservative than being religious? Think about it. It's weird that some people be like super Christians and can also be Democrats. That's fucking insane to me. How can you be a super Christian but sit here believing men can be women, women can be men, as if God made fucking mistakes making these motherfuckers? Believing in the deletion of kids, believing in same-sex marriages. How can you even it shows the fucking confusion, the cognitive dissonance, because it's a whole lot of black people, especially a lot of black women that always looking for a God-fearing man. They in church every Sunday, they quoting the Bible, but at the same time, they liberal as fuck. They Democrats, they liberal, and they fucking feminists. And none of that shit coincides or works or aligns with religion. So if you claim to be a Christian and you also on the left, you are one really confused, twisted individual, and you fucking lying to yourself. Because being a Christian and Democratic left ideologies do not align at all. The shit's like oil and water. But they would never admit that. They would never admit that it's weird as hell to be a Christian, but support and believe in a party that's pro-choice, pro-identity, gay shit, and all that other stuff that goes against the Bible. Then if you're not religious, but you want to call yourself intelligent and intellectual, a lot of that shit on the far left and the Democratic side goes against basic common sense, logic, science, and anything of an intellectual capacity. Pretty much, if you really deep into that Democratic liberal stuff, you're probably a freaking moron. And it's a whole lot of science and observable reality can prove that you're a fucking moron. But again, I said it before and I'm gonna say it again today, the average citizen is a moron anyway. So what the fuck do you expect, right? But it's weird. Black people talk and pretty much live conservative, but because it's kind of like that whole thing Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Throughout the years, a lot of people have been you have to understand that. I'm sorry about that. I lost my train of thought because I was pulling up this video. My apologies. Let me see if I can download this video. I guess I can't.
My husband and myself.
So I'm finna pull up a little video real quick, man. We're gonna look at some of the stuff that black conservatives go through in this world and some of the stuff that's said to them, and just see if like, am I like exaggerating, or are there other people out there that experience this? And let's check out their experiences on it and see if we can put two and two together and get to this vote. You know what I'm saying?
It has been incredibly hard. So
the mic off. Sorry. So as you see in the thing, it says how I became a conservative black. And the little message up here says, I will agree, being black and conservative, you have to be very strong, brave person. I can't imagine the challenges they face. Why did you have to be very strong and brave to be conservative? What are these challenges? What is going on? Are they under attack? Is it coming from your own people? Let's see.
my husband and myself became a conservative back in 2020, and the quick little story behind it basically was that we prayed about it. We really felt in our spirit that the Lord would have us vote for Donald Trump, and at the time we had been convicted about like not voting in previous years and just feeling like, you know, as Christians it is our job to speak with our vote, and if there is a president that is pro-Bible, pro-life, that lines up with biblical truth and stands for those things, then I will automatically be voting for that person. And to say that I got so much backlash from family members, from friends, people like unfollowing me, unfriending me on Facebook, like, I mean, it was crazy. All because I decided to cast my vote for something that I truly believe that I was called by God to do. And not only that, but I just could not wrap my head around the fact that people were seriously unfriending me on social media over.
One reason I would always be conservative is simple. I can never vote for a president, anyone that's pro-choice. Straight up. I believe in child murder, They're gonna call it abortion, deletion, whatever, but murder is murder to me. I only believe in instances where the the mother's life is in extreme danger and the baby's at high risk of not making it anyway, or the baby has some kind of 100% diagnosed condition where they will not live a short, painful life anyway, that a life that's almost not worth living. In those instances, also in the case of rape or incest, it would be cool if they went up for adoption, but if they want to choose the deletion process, support of that. See, they think just because you conservative, you just like, now you gonna have that baby, woman. The vast majority of conservatives, we ain't monsters. We understand the nuances. But the thing is, since they don't see any nuances, any grays in their shit, they project their intense ideology over here. We don't want to take away all social programs. We understand kids got to eat, but at the same time, you got to put some policies on things and make things a little harder so these adults can get out their ass and carry their own weight. You can't just let shit sit as it is and been for decades because it's too convenient. It's a lot of people out there that'll rather live a lower level life and not go to work than have to go to work to live a better life. They'll just take that lower level life. Straight up. Let's get back to the video though.
My vote. I was just like, how is that the love of Christ? How is that by God to do? And not only that, but I just could not wrap my head around the fact that people were seriously unfriending me on social media over my vote. I was just like, how is that the love of Christ? How is that showing up as love? How is that being family or friends? I mean, there's people that I grew up with in church that to this day will not speak to me because I voted for Donald Trump. And yes, I did make a post where I said I voted for Donald Trump, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Like, it should not make a difference. Like, I have never unfriended someone because they support Joe Biden. I have never unfriended someone because they're not pro-life. I have never unfriended someone because they're not Christian or whatever. Because at the end of the day, what you choose to support and what you choose to be a part of, that is between you and God. But if my content can bless and change the mindset of somebody else, then that's fantastic. I'm going to stay in my lane and I'm going to intercede for you and I'm going to pray for you, but I'm not going to unfriend you. You would have to do something really, really wild or crazy or call me out my name or something, or post something that is super demonic or something like that in order for me to unfriend you. So I just really couldn't wrap my head around it. And to be told all my life that because I'm black, I'm a Democrat, and then to find out for myself once I got married and started like viewing the world from a different perspective.
This is the thing about being conservative or a conservative douchebag. Once you start living right, once you start doing things in a healthy way, once you start accomplishing and winning and getting things, you're going to start seeing life a little more through the conservative lens. Once you don't want to be a degenerate, not saying there's not any degenerates that are conservative. Not saying that. Not saying all, for the not all police, liberals or Democrats are degenerates. However, they definitely siding with clear degenerate behaviors, i.e., man on man sex, woman on woman sex, men becoming women, women becoming man, child deletion as a form of birth control instead of like for emergency extenuating situations, living off the system, not only living off the system, scamming and manipulating the system to live off the system. You know the people I'm talking about. These people know the systems. They know the programs. They can fucking give seminars and classes on how to get all this shit. They full of knowledge. They full of information. They can do all the paperwork. They know who to see, who to talk to, who to talk to, everything to do to get that shit. They have so much drive and ambition and creativity to get this money, which lets me know they had the capacity to get money the real way. They not dumb. Yet, why do that when there are systems in place that allows them to get enough thriving money, enough surviving money, and they can play around with jobs? I work part-time here. I quit here, work here for a couple weeks, blah, blah, blah. You got people purposely working 24 hours a week so they can keep their benefit. The manager saying, yo, we can get you on full time. Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna, come in a couple days a week.
Oh my God.
Because they don't want to make a certain level of income to fuck up their benefits that they feel they owed. Like when Trump cut the SNAP. I can't believe Trump cut my food stamps. Like, he taking my money. What did you do to earn this shit? Besides, fuck. Something that we all do. Something that you might even did. You probably didn't even do it well. You probably sucked. Who knows? You laying on your back and you fucked. Or if you're a dude that got the kids, you threw somebody's stanky legs over your shoulder, took them to Pound Town, shot the club. Wow. Motherfuckers been doing that since the caveman days. Nothing special about it. You can put a baby in a chick without even having no good stroke game. You can put a baby in a chick and you lasted 5 seconds. You can get pregnant by a man if you don't know how to throw it back in your poom poom stank. It ain't gotta be special, good, or nothing. Yet you want your life financed because you did this basic biological fucking function. Created some kids that you choose to have because we know how babies made. Fuck no. Let's get back to the video.
Perspective and really getting into my Bible, it shook me, and it was like a radical change within me and within my husband. And I will never go back. I will not apologize. I will not bow down, and I will not hide. Like, this is who I am. This is who I was created to be. And I believe that I am alive for such a time as this, to be a voice for the voiceless, to be a voice for babies, to be a voice for moms, to be a voice for Black women who feel like, hey, I think there's a better way. I think that we have been brainwashed and manipulated into believing that certain things are the way that they are, and that's just it. And there's nothing more, and this is what this is. Like, no, go read your Bible, pray about it, and allow the Holy Spirit to speak to you. That's all I'm gonna say, and then let me know what he says once you do that.
I think personally, a lot of people that lean into the liberal or democratic ideologies, they like the victimhood, the lack of accountability, and the acceptance of anything that comes with that. There's not a lot of rules. There's not a lot of shame. There's not a lot of judgment. It's kind of like the purge over there on that side of town. It's kind of like a free for all. Love who you love, screw who you screw, do what you do, be who you be, call yourself what you want. If you suck at life, it's the systems holding you down, the white man, the conservatives holding you down. Do whatever you do. There should be something into place to save you from your own bad choices, mistakes, etc. Live life, just flow through life like a leaf in the wind, and others will come out and look out for you and take care of you because they should, because they owe you that, and they owe your kids that. They owe to care about your kids more than you care about your kids for whatever weird reasons. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Shit makes no sense. And yes, Nightish, you will lose friends. But fuck it. Sometimes you got to lose losers. You got to lose losers. They serve no purpose anyway. So we got another video up, another sister. The sisters are waking up, which is surprising and refreshing too, because a lot of them lean deeply into that liberal stuff because they all for the my body, my choice, because it protects them from being irresponsible. Why manage or judge or vet who you sleeping with when you can always delete the baby? So it's refreshing to see. So her thing says from liberal to conservative. Let's see what was her breaking point and what, why she chose to, and why was she liberal the first time? What she liked about being conservative? What made her swap? Blah, 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 all that. Let's look into it and find out real quick. Before we do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Like, subscribe, comment, and please share. It doesn't cost you a penny, nickel, or a dime, and it's 100% free. But if you want to support the channel, anything from $1 on up would be greatly appreciated and go directly into funding the channel. Cash App down there, $UNC the streaming is going to be there the whole time. Let's get to the video.
Who went from liberal to conservative. I just know I'm not the only one who went from liberal to conservative. I know I'm not. Who can y'all comment down below, in all honesty, if you all were liberal and turned conservative? Like you didn't grow up in a conservative household, or you didn't feel that way from the beginning. You changed your mind. Something changed your mind. I know I'm not the only one. There's so many of us.
I'm telling you what that change usually is living right, living healthy, getting money, winning at life, owning a home, getting some land, getting some stock, getting some investments, all those proper things that shows key to success. Once you start doing that and just being a responsible adult, that liberal shit starting to look very middle school to you. Once you start realizing that you're working hard and there's people out there flopping through life begging you for shit, you start drifting more conservative. A lot of people are simply liberal because of the choices they made and the way their life set up. They have to believe in that liberal shit in order to win. Example, y'all there just fucking, having kids, irresponsible with your womb or irresponsible with your seed. You got to be on that liberal shit because you need those programs. You need child deletion as a sign of birth control to exist, because you have no idea when you gonna get knocked up or who gonna knock you up. You got motherfuckers getting surprised knocked up every weekend. So you got to fight and ride for that kind of shit. But when you ain't out there living like that, that kind of shit is no concern to you. When you're not living a life of debauchery and failure, most of the shit that the liberals fight for is no concern of yours. So the L in liberal stand for loser. Let's get back to what these sisters are talking about.
Who were on the left and are now on the right. I just know I'm not the only one who went from liberal to conservative. I know I'm not. Who can y'all comment down below, in all honesty, if you all were liberal and turned conservative? Like you weren't, like you didn't grow up in a conservative household, or you didn't feel that way from the beginning. You changed your mind. Something changed your mind. I know I'm not the only one. There's so many of us who were on the left and are now on the right, or at least, and there's people who are also independent, but they're leaning towards the right now. I would have never saw that happening. Like if you told me 3 years ago that I would be a conservative and I would vote Republican, yeah, right. That's funny. Mind you, I also went against the grain. I am the only one in my family who was a conservative. I'm actually one of my only, I don't think any of my friends are conservative. Well, I won. Well, now, thanks to TikTok and thanks to social media, I have many friends who are conservative, but I'm talking about like in-person friends. Like I know them like face to face. I only have one, and I met her on TikTok, and that is my girl. That's my sister. But yeah, like I went against the grain. Like I literally did. Like I did a whole switch. So it cost me something, because people look at me like I'm crazy. Whatever. I'd rather be looked as crazy than freaking fit in that box over there, because what the heck are y'all doing? And we ain't got it all together all the way, but whew, what the heck is going on over there? But like I was saying, and I don't ever see myself going back to liberal, like ever. And I'm not going to say all of them, but
Most definitely, Nidish. She is definitely going to lose family. But again, everybody in your life don't need to be in your life. Everybody in your life don't need to be in your life. Sometimes you love family, but unfortunately, family, as we all know, can be on that bullshit. And when someone's on that bullshit, it's best if they just go on about their bullshit ass business. And if you don't want to communicate with me because I see this is the thing about me. I'm a Christian, not a good Christian, not a super Christian, not a holy roller. But I have friends that's atheists, agnostic. I have friends that's all liberal and shit, suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, just all that shit. I have friends that are street dudes. I have friends that are more into anime, gaming, and other quote unquote nerd shit than I am. Even though I'm into those things, I have friends that are intensely into them. You know, I have friends that are what y'all would consider players, womanizers. I have friends that are niggas that probably don't touch pussy. Ain't never touched pussy. Down there like incels. The only little weird group that I don't have a lot of friends in is in the alphabet community. I'm not one of those guys that want to hang with studs or lesbians. I don't discriminate. I'm not one of those guys that if you gay, we ain't got to really. If you gay, just we can be cordial if I have to work with you or some shit. I ain't got time for confused people. Life is already confusing enough, in my opinion. But let's get back to the video.
a lot of the left are so hateful. When I was on the left, I didn't get hate comments and stuff from, people on the left or people on the right. Everyone was very like, oh, like they didn't agree with certain things, and we might have had a little back and forth on things, but no one told me to myself or, made fun of my skin color and stuff like that. I mean, obviously there are people on the right who are racist, but I never got racism because of who I voted for. You get what I'm saying? It was never that. People were just racist because they were racist. But now it's like, because of who I voted for on the right, people on the left are telling me to myself and things with my skin color and like how can you be a woman, and like then also like as if I'm supposed to be conditioned to think a certain way, as if I'm supposed to like be a robot or something. I can't think for myself in 2025, I guess. I don't know. It's insane. I know I'm not the only one who went from the left to the right. I cannot be. Who's with me? Thank God I woke up. And like, I know y'all be trashing Candace Owens. Whatever. I don't agree with her and everything. I still love her. But I am so thankful for her.
Salute to Candace Owens, y'all. Salute to Candace Owens. I don't agree with her on everything either, but I agree with her on most things. And I respect her logical mind and her thought process and her ability to separate emotions from the simple facts and truth and realities of certain shit. And even if I don't agree with you, as long as you're logical and not speaking from pure emotion, then we can have a discourse. We can talk. We can figure it out. At that point, we can agree to disagree, and I'll still have mad respect for you, as long as you presented your case in a logical way. That's all I ask. Some people need you to agree, and they get mad and irate if you don't agree or they can't convert you or change your mind. I've never been like that. Just please, for the sake of anything, make sense in the shit you're presenting outside of you feel things should be this way. And it's all Gucci after that.
First of all, I'm thankful to Jesus Christ. He used them to wake me up. Because if I never got saved, I wouldn't have even started thinking that way. But that's a whole different conversation. But Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, I don't agree with everything they say. I love Charlie. But there's some things that he say, I'm like, what are you talking about? But he's very, very smart. If it was not for those two, I do believe I would still be on the left. I do believe that, like, me watching their videos and actually doing my own research after watching their videos, I would have still been lost in the sauce, baby. And if I never found Jesus, I would have totally been lost in the sauce. Whew. But yeah, so I know I'm not the only one. Who is with me? Thank you, Jesus, for wisdom and maturity and growth. And I have a lot more to learn, but I'm so.
But yeah, calling yourself a Christian and being a liberal is a total fucking oxymoron. Is that the phrase? Oxymoron? Yeah. It's if you a fucking, I'm a Christian, but I'm also a liberal. How, Sway? How?
Oh my God.
Make it make sense.
What the hell?
I don't think you can make it make sense. When people be like acting like they some kind of super Christians, but also liberal as fuck, that's kind of like those weird churches that let the gay folks in and all that stuff. Get the fuck out of my face.
Oh my God.
That's why I like my old Southern Baptist churches. They still don't play that shit. Sorry, not sorry. You gotta let that lifestyle go before you get welcome up in here or go to one of these woke ass churches. There's too much contradiction going on. But every time I hear somebody say, act like they religious, but also liberal and democratic, when they telling me, all I hear is this right here.
Once a ton of pine. 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 Once a ton. Once a ton. Once a ton of pine. Once a ton of pine.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you know what you're talking about? I'm confused, you confused, we all confused together.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
That's all I get out of it. That's all I get out of it. So I got a video I'm gonna play for you all. It's kind of long, but it's long for my channel. I see niggas reviewing 2-hour videos. Of course, they only get the 5-10 minutes of it. But over here, I keep it rolling. You feel me? I like to cover a lot of information and a lot of stuff in a very short time frame. See, I'm up here by myself, and I can't do 8, 9, 10-hour streams. So I'm saying this a long video because it's 9 minutes and 51 seconds. But over here, we'll finish that shit in like 15 minutes. Other places, that shit'll take 3 hours. So it's really not as long as it seems because of the way I like to conduct things. I like to be clear, concise, have a little structure, and go ahead and get to it. And plus, when you're by yourself, you don't have all the sidebars and interruptions. So it really helps. I don't have to moderate nothing over here. I just have to moderate myself. And I love it like that. Over here on the struggle stream side of town. By the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Like, subscribe, comment, and please share. It doesn't cost you a penny, a nickel, or a dime. And it's 100% free and helps the channel the most. Anything would be greatly appreciated from $1 on up if you want to support financially. Cash outs right down there. $ Unc B Streaming. This video says most black people have conservative values. It also says if your attention span is 30 seconds, this would be a hard listen. My attention span ain't 30 seconds. A lot of people are. We'll break up the video as need be. And let's go. Let's rock.
In this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal. And white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro.
I don't know who that is talking. But oh Lord, he just said a word. He just said a word. I have to run this back a few seconds, man. I'm sorry.
Are no longer divided into themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal. And white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives.
I don't understand, how did black people allow white liberals to pull them into this foolishness with the love for God we have? How did black people allow these white liberals to pull them to align with he, she, they, their, them, man on man love, woman on woman love, same-sex marriage, transgenderism, and murder for convenience? How did they pull us past religion and get us into that? It's insane when you think about it. But it literally happened. This dude ain't lying. The vast majority of black people, for whatever reason, are Democrats and liberal. And not only that, the black people that's not Democrat and liberal, i.e. like myself, are attacked and ostracized by their own people for the sake of people that don't even look like them.
So I want to talk about being a black conservative, because I think there's a lot of people who, again, we have been very much brainwashed in our community to believe that Democrats are, which are the white liberal, according to Malcolm X. By the way, there's a reason why he's not alive right now, because this.
Oh, that was Malcolm X. That makes sense. Salute.
This doesn't bode well for black people if they started listening to this kind of rhetoric. So the kind of rhetoric that they needed to promote was the rhetoric of MLK. I don't agree with everything that Malcolm X said. I think that doesn't need to be said. I hope we're all adults here and can understand that we don't agree with 100% of what anyone says, because we're not brainwashed. But it's
good luck with that, thinking people are adults here. Because as a content creator who frequent other people's panels, motherfuckers definitely can't get if you could tell a motherfucker you like R. Kelly music, and they'll call you a pedo and say you support pedophilia. So good luck thinking that people have the maturity, emotional intelligence to understand just because you agree with something somebody say or like something they do doesn't mean that you support everything about their life. Like, I can like that Diddy's business acumen, how he conducted himself, how he run his business, how he built his wealth, how he built his shit, without saying I'm okay with him two-piecing up Cassie. But when you're dealing with emotional talkers, emotional thinkers, and like I said, a lot of the liberal side, the Dem side, a lot of their shit and agenda, it push off sheer emotions. They pull on people's feelings and heartstrings and get their vote. And these people don't understand how they being manipulated. But again, sheep gonna be sheep. And people can turn into sheeple. And there's a lot of sheeples walking around this motherfucker.
Very obvious that it's working. There are when you call yourself conservative and black, people automatically assume that you're a Republican, and those are two different things. White liberals are dangerous to the black community because they inherently use us for their political gain. They emotionally abuse us. They're the ones who are like, you're oppressed, you're oppressed, you're oppressed. White people are racist, white people are racist. Like, they're white themselves. So they're actually telling you what they already are. And they're saying, you can't do anything without us. You can't do anything without us. We will help you. We will help you. Meanwhile, most cities that are run by liberals are actually in absolute trash. They advocate for black families to be ripped apart. They advocate for single baby mamahood, which is a huge problem, whether or not you want to believe it or not. It's a huge problem. They advocate for families being torn apart. And they have used our emotional attachment to slavery to do that. Now, here's what this doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that I think Republicans are doing anything different. In fact, I'm not registered as a Republican. I would probably never do that, to be honest, because I simply like my wolves in wolves' clothing. A lot of people don't know that they're dealing with wolves. Most black conservatives know that they're dealing with wolves, and so they act accordingly. People think that everybody is a Candace Owens or Brandon, Officer Tatum, or who are the other black, I don't know the other black Republican pundits. Those people don't know that they're also pushing an agenda. They just think that they're going to be accepted by the Republicans. But as we've seen before, you can criticize anybody except one group of people on the Republican side, and you will be banished from the kingdom forever if you say those horrific words. So a lot of black Republicans, yes, do not know. They're doing this from also the same place of low self-esteem that a lot of Democrats are voting for, which is, I want to be accepted by white people. And that's a weird place to be in your life. Like, I do not wish that on anyone. So yes, but being conservative means that you understand that you are dealing with wolves and you do not like the.
Now she's saying being conservative don't mean you're a Republican, but it doesn't specifically mean that. But the flaw with her statement is that it's next to impossible to be conservative and be a Democrat. So the most you can do, if you conservative and not Republican, that just means you have no party. You notice how she said she just don't have no party. So I get it. She's right on that point. Just because you're conservative doesn't mean you're Republican. But if you're conservative, it definitely means that you're not a fucking Democrat. If you are conservative and a Democrat, you are a walking contra-fucking diction. Straight up. And I got some oceanfront property in Utah to sell you if you believe that shit is possible.
Wolf in sheep's clothing. You do not like the wolf that says, oh, you want to do drugs? Sure. Let me.
That is a fact, MS Best. Since there's no conservative party, your only choice is for Republican. You do have one more choice. Nothing. But if you're conservative, being a Democrat ain't an option unless you are a goofy goober.
Find a safe place for you to do them. Oh, you want to kill your children? Oh, let me find a safe place for you because I care about you. Meanwhile, they're the ones who are helping you keep your population down. Oh, you don't think that being modest or being educated is important? Yes, that is Black culture. Black culture is thuggery. Yes, 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 it is. Okay, now, how can we make sure that Black people think that this is their culture? Okay. Because who's running the music companies and the TV shows and all that, right? Oh, the Negroes. Okay, so we want to make sure that the only thing that is propagated to the Negroes is that they know that it is their role to be the dumb, loud, like they can be musicians, they can be actors, they can be athletes, but do not by any means tell them about the inventors and the scientists and the mathematicians that actually built some of this country. Don't tell them that. No, we can only tell them.
See, this the kind of part I don't agree with. This the kind of shit I don't agree with. She's sounding kind of liberal herself. No one should have to tell you those things. We all got fucking computers in our pocket. If you want to know about black inventors and black people that did amazing things outside of entertainment and sports, it's up to you to seek that information. So I don't like that victim shit of the people are purposely not trying to tell us something, and therefore our lack of knowledge is their fault. No, goddamn it. If you don't know something in 2025, it's because you didn't fucking care to know. It ain't nobody's fault. If you don't know something in 2025, your ass didn't want to know, didn't give a fuck. The whole they hiding information from us shit, save that pity party motherfucking bullshit. That shit is dead. So she losing me on that shit, but let's get back to it.
Yes, it is. Okay, now, how can we make sure that black people think that this is their culture? Okay. Because who's running the music companies and the TV shows and all that, right? Oh, the Negroes. Okay, so we want to make sure that the only thing that is propagated to the Negroes is that they know that it is their role to be the dumb, loud, like they can be musicians, they can be actors, they can be athletes, but do not by any means tell them about the inventors and the scientists and the mathematicians that actually built some of this country. Don't tell them that. No, we can only tell them about the people who were oppressed because we have to keep them in this position. That's the difference. Republicans are like, we don't like you, just stay out of our business. Those are very different politics. And if you can't see that by now, I think that's because you are willfully ignorant. Malcolm X said it himself. And if you're listening, you know, yeah, we're being pandered to. This is why people they will do anything and everything but tell black people that they're capable, that they're smart, that they don't need white people's help, that they're capable of.
No one should have to tell you that you're capable and smart and don't need white people help. If white people ain't telling you that you're capable and smart and don't need white people help, that doesn't make them the bad guy if they're not telling you that. Why do the motherfucker gotta tell you this shit? You should know that shit about yourself. Oh my God, what in the codependency saying white people doing something wrong because they're not telling you that you should believe in your fucking self as a goddamn adult. Oh, hell no. What in the eternal victim going on here? Yo, these people don't be listening to themselves, yo. The shit is disgusting. Disgusting. The shit is...
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Brother. I don't know how much more of this woman I can listen to. She making some good points, but you can hear the liberal feminism and the unrealistic bullshit coming all out of her. She's confused. She's all over the place right now. She ain't standing on nothing, but she talking about everything, if you get what I'm saying.
Changing anything they want to, that they're capable of going to university, that that's a good thing for you. They will tell you anything. What is the Proverbs about the kisses from an enemy and the truth from a friend? They will lie to you. They will put Black people's names on schools. They will put them on street corners. They will take on Jemima off the syrup. They will do anything but call you a child of God and worthy of being treated as such. That's the difference. It's not about needing to be accepted. Nobody, when you have good self-esteem, because a lot of times when people say this, they're projecting. They're projecting the fact that they have low self-esteem. And they're like, you'll never be accepted by white people. It's like, I don't have that. That's not my particular struggle. My particular struggle is that I unfortunately have a lot of pride, and I really do think I can do any and all things. Like, that's really my struggle, is that you tell me I can't, and I'll do it because I can. Right? Like, that's
If you can't function without white people telling you that you can be anything and do everything and blah, 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 you're the problem, not the white people. That's just straight up the truth. It is what it is.
really my struggle isn't I'm oppressed and I'm, that's a different kind of issue. I am very happy to admit that my issue is I really don't think I'm stoppable. My issue is that I have the kind of parents who are like, I try it again and do it again. And I don't care what she said, do it again. Try it again. Oh, you'd like to make the varsity basketball team? You might want to shoot 1,000 free throws because that's what it takes. Oh, you want to go to university? Better start getting straight A's. Like, I grew up in that kind of family, so I don't understand this like need to be liked or need to be accepted. I need you to leave me alone. I need you to stop getting in my psyche and telling me how horrible my life is. I need you to stop playing psychological warfare on me. I don't care if you don't like me. That's actually even better because then you leave me alone. But don't pretend to like me and pretend that your policies are helping me. And the other thing is, people will say, well, how could you be a Christian and you guys don't have any empathy and compassion for the poor? Actually, a lot of people give money outside of the government. I have 3 charities that I donate to every single month. 3 charities. Have you noticed that your money isn't doing anything? So yes, they're so compassionate. They're so empathetic. Where is your money going? And particularly if you're Black, why isn't it helping? And what are you doing instead of offloading your empathy to the government? What are you doing? Because part of being a conservative is I want to conserve my money so that I can give it to who I want to give it to. So I give my money. There's so many different ways that I help my community.
Yeah, she's kind of all over the place. She said a couple of decent things, but again, you don't have to agree with everything someone says. And even when they say weird shit, you can still get knowledge out of weird shit, right?
Woman problem.
But like this video says, Black conservatives are hated by the Black community. And I fucking agree. Let's see if he can break down why.
This woman,
I know why, but
this woman problematic. They will call this woman problematic. They will call this. Conservatives are the most hated individuals within the entirety of the so-called Black community. As a matter of fact, this one right here is more hated than the individual who goes into a neighborhood and poisons that neighborhood, i.e. the dope dealers, or the individual who causes mayhem, death, and destruction, i.e. the shooters and the gang members. This individual is hated more.
I'm glad he said that because he made me think about a point I wanted to address. These people are so weird, such deviants, that the same people that was celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination because he said things that they didn't agree with are the same people that have a free Tay-Tay shirt on when we know he's a killer, drug dealer, murderer, blah, blah, blah. These the same people that big up and respect the dope boys and pimps in their community. These the same people that be like free Lil Durk and free whatever rapper in jail that caught a clear body. Yet they celebrate the assassination of a Christian, a father, a husband, someone that don't have no kind of criminal record at all because of their opinions. He the worst shit ever. He deserved death. But the pimp, drug dealers, shooters and YNs and all that stuff, they are ends, aka real niggas. You got some people out there that just hate righteousness. They hate living right. They hate standing for something. They hate anything that challenges their deviant behavior and desire to just do whatever they feel in any situation. That's really what it boils down to. Being conservative puts limitations on following your lizard brain. And liberals hate that shit because they live in a world of, if I want to do it, or it feels good, or it's fun, why can't I do it? Maybe because the shit just fucked up and it ain't right, it's immoral, unnatural, all kinds of things like that.
Black conservatives are the most hated individuals within the entirety of the so-called black community. As a matter of fact, this one right here is more hated than the individual who goes into a neighborhood and poisons that neighborhood, i.e. the dope dealers, or the individual who causes mayhem, death, and destruction, i.e. the shooters and the gang members. This individual is hated more than the one who promotes a message of perpetuating the very same toxicity, dysfunction, and trauma. So you may be asking yourself, what kind of...
The black community and these liberals hate Candace Owens, but love Cardi B, who's a strip, admitted to drugging and robbing men, started dating and sleeping with a guy while still married and pregnant, then had the guy baby while still married, and she assaults people, throws stuff at people, curse like a fucking seller, and is just overall just a nasty, mean-spirited person. But they fuck with her more than this lady. Says a lot about them, in my fucking humble opinion.
Destructive, vile message with the very same toxicity, dysfunction, and trauma. So you may be asking yourself, what kind of destructive, vile message would an individual like this, the black conservative, be preaching that is causing such a deep disdain? I'll tell you what that message is. It's a message of perhaps you can do for yourself. Maybe racism isn't what's holding you back, but instead a lack of information, understanding, and essentially taking advantage of the opportunities.
Maybe racism isn't holding you back. Maybe it's you. The choices you make, your lack of ambition, the people you choose to be around, the people you choose to insert in your life or insert your penis into, or the people you let into you. Maybe that's the reason where you at. But you can't tell them that because then you are a conservative douchebag. What I'm here to say, I'm telling you that, and I ain't no trust fund baby. Nigga, I was raised by crackheads at some point. I lived in houses with none of the three utilities was on. Water, light, gas. It was never a time when all three was on. You either had two of the three and sometimes one of the three. Pick which one because it used to alternate. You understand what I'm saying? No, I realized that I didn't want to live like that. I didn't want to be like that. So I had to be the master of my own destiny. And that means making good decisions, living right, being a productive citizen, and just contributing to society and just trying to be something and using my brain, my energy, my body to accomplish that. Sacrificing sometimes. Sometimes you got to sacrifice. When I was in the military for 15 years going to Iraq, Afghanistan, all that shit, sometimes I used to come home on leave and my homeboys that was living free in the time I was gone, the most they did, they'll make a baby mama, got some tattoos, party. They out here, living their life. I'm off in the army getting up at 5:30 every morning to run fucking 5 miles at fucking 6:30, be it winter, spring, or fall, whatever, summer, whatever, it don't matter. It could be fucking November, 40 degrees in the morning. We still out there running, blowing smoke, blowing fucking fumes out our mouth, steam out our mouth because it's so fucking cold. It's so cold, but you running and you got so hot that after you done running, you standing there and steam just literally coming off your head like a goddamn cartoon. So it's like, I got 4 kids and I only was there for 2 fucking childbirths because of my job, the sacrifices, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, when you have a certain level of stuff going on in your life, they want to disrespect, like you got it there easy or you didn't sacrifice and you didn't do the hard work, and they want to say you forgot where you came from. No, I didn't forget where I come from. You understand? I just left that shit where it's at. I didn't forget it. I just didn't choose to put it in my pockets and carry it with me for fucking life. Y'all niggas don't need to forget where y'all come from either. But you got to fucking let it go. Let it go, niggas. Let it go. It ain't serving your goofy ass. You a real nigga. A real broke nigga. A real begging nigga. That's what the fuck you is. Straight up. That's what the fuck it is, Mr. Real Nigga. You're a real begging nigga. Hey, listen. What these people consider a real nigga, I'll be a coon all day before I be what they consider a real nigga. That's just a motherfucking fact.
That are presented to you, that you are able to uplift yourself and do for self. These are the messages that are seen as problematic. In the same breath where somebody will yell out free Dirk or free Young Thug or whatever other individual is locked up that week, in the same breath, they will call this woman problematic. They will call this individual the problem. Black conservatives are the most hated individuals within the entirety of the so-called black community. As a matter of fact, this one right here is more hated than the individual who goes into a neighborhood and poisons that neighborhood, i.e. the dope dealers, or the individual who causes mayhem, death, and destruction, i.e. the shooters and the gang members. This individual is hated more than the one who promotes a message of perpetuating the very same toxicity.
Sad world we're living in, people. Sad world we're living in. What's up, Coach Fur? Coach Fur says, bro. That's why I go to the younger bros. They are hungry for the knowledge. Yeah, they are. They are, man. The younger guys that ain't out here doing all the YN stuff and the thugging and bugging, the younger guys that it's like this. If these new age chicks calling you lame as a young brother, best believe I think you're doing something right. You don't want a lot of these chicks to think you're cool, because what they consider cool is gonna end you. You're gonna have a certain life by the time you're 35. So yeah, I love these young dudes, man, out here, man. These dudes that's you know, they go to the gym, they Renaissance bands, they multifaceted, they watch their anime, they watch their movies, they play their games, they listen to their audiobooks, they use their fucking brain. They understand that there are ways to represent yourself outside of being the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the one that can whoop ass, the one that got more street cred. They don't even care about street cred. They're not afraid of being themselves. These new cats coming up, they get to like things and enjoy things and partake in things that's not traditionally cool in the black community. And I salute them because they don't they don't even, you know, they get to be themselves. They don't stop doing shit because other motherfuckers don't think it's cool. So let me see something. You gotta oh, YouTube ain't let me put that, huh? I mean, TikTok ain't let me search that. They don't like that word. Let me see. Black conservatives. Listen, I just trying to figure out when did being conservative become bad? Like holding back, showing restraint, planning, not just living off the strength of your emotions and desires. Let's see what some other black conservatives got to go to. We talking about the sins of the black conservative, the strength sometimes, a character that it takes to go with what's right, what logical, and what makes sense. And the hardships, unfortunately, it's weird that hardships. I mean, we saw videos, people losing friends, people losing family. It's insane. People losing romantic relationships, all this kind of shit because they not for the debauchery. Let's see what we got going on here.
Look at me. What about me would make you think that I care about your opinion? Look at me. What
says getting called whitewash in the type of names when the black community found out I was conservative. Let's see if we got a more detailed video.
So it's funny, everybody says that conservative or racist, but you know, the Liberal Party, the liberals. So it's funny, everybody says that conservative or racist, but you know, the Liberal Party, the liberals, man, I tell you, being a conservative and being black, the things that I've been called, let's just talk about a few of them. I would say the number one thing that I get called by white liberals and black liberals alike, just liberals in general, is coon. That is the number one I get called all the time. It is like,
he got white liberals calling him a coon. That's the thing about this shit, right? These people are so weird that a white liberal can call this black man a coon, and a black person that's liberal will be okay with it, applaud it, and sit there and call this black man a coon and be hyped when this white man call this black man a coon.
What the hell?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
What in the Black Mirror, Twilight Zone, Ripley's Believe It or Not, the Upside Down, what the fuck is going on? Where a white person can call a black person a coon, and other black people would be right there with the white person calling the black person a fucking coon.
So it's funny, everybody says that conservative are racist, but you know, the liberal party, the liberals, man, I tell you, being a conservative and being black, the things that I've been called, let's just talk about a few of them. I would say the number one thing that I get called by white liberals and black liberals alike, just liberals in general, is coon. That is the number one I get called all the time. It is like you throw it in there. The other one is Oreo. I think that's kind of like the passive aggressive way of saying that I'm a coon or whatever. And then, you know, I get the sentence like they will never accept you, you know, even though I'm married to a white woman. But anyway, bottom line is that there's that one. And then, the famous one. This one's the famous one. This one I believe should be number one, which is the Uncle Tom. You are the Uncle Tom. And that one I think takes the cake because I see that one everywhere. Also, I do see a little bit of skin folk, not kinfolk.
The way this, yeah. I done heard them all. Coon, Uncle Tom, all kin folks, not skin folks. Hey, this guy done heard them all, seem like.
Of saying that I'm a coon or whatever. And then, you know, I get the sentence like they will never accept you, you know, even though I'm married to a white woman. But anyway, bottom line is that there's that one. And then, the famous one. This one's the famous one. This one I believe should be number one, which is the Uncle Tom. You are the Uncle Tom. And that one I think takes the cake because I see that one everywhere. Also, I do see a little bit of skin folk, not kinfolk. I think that one is like pulled up through the history and brought into life now because I didn't start hearing that one until recently. And it's funny because, again, you only hear this from black liberals and liberals in general. They don't it doesn't matter who they are, but they will only be it only comes. I've never been called this stuff by conservatives. They've never told me that I was a runaway slave. That has always just been liberals that have said this stuff, hanging from a tree and all this stuff. Like, you can't trust them, you know, they're gonna show you. And it's like, well, I got a few kids with a white woman, so I'm still waiting to be showed. I've been showed quite a bit, by the way. But I don't know, it's just wild. But bottom line is that, you know, you get treated right, you get treated good, and you get treated fairly as a conservative. I would never be a liberal, and I'm never gonna ever think about being a liberal just because of their behavior and all the weird stuff that goes on there. You know, the cosplay, the cats and animals that are walking down the street, and just the...
I'm glad he said that. I'm not gonna start. I said, you know, the gay stuff, the transgender, the deletion, child deletion. They also have in that Liberal Party the furries. Yes, the furries. Grown ass adults that dress up like big ass animal mascot suits and have sex and do all that kind of weird shit. All those people are over on that side because that's the love who you love, screw who you screw, be who you be, identify how you identify bullshit. Goddamn furries. How are you gonna call yourself a Christian in a line with a party in a side in an ideology that fucks with that kind of weird ass shit? But people have figured out a way to make it make sense. Seems like TikTok beyond ball to blocking certain stuff look like.
Like, it's really tiring. So can I please get some intelligent black people, please, on my page? Like, it's like.
Strangely, when I'm clicking on all these black conservatives talking,
like
the videos,
like, it's really tiring. So can I please get like?
Ain't playing.
It's really tiring. So can I like? It's really tiring. So can I please get some intelligent black people, please, on my page?
Let me try something on that. I'm gonna download it.
Hey, forget my name.
They'll play the ones with music, but the ones that's talking, that guy got to play.
So one of my videos has gone viral on Twitter, and I saw the comments. I received a lot of love, and then there was a few that was just like mean, nasty, and you would have thought that would hurt my feelings, but it really didn't. It did not at all. One of the comments that stood out to me that I kept saying over and over again were the comments of, oh, she's a coon, she's an Auntie Tom, she's this, she's that, oh, blah, blah, blah. The usual names, the usual names, y'all. And there was one joint that was like, she doesn't speak for us. I bust out laughing, and I said, you know what, God? I'm glad I don't speak for them. I don't want to speak for them. I want to be a representation of Christ Jesus. I don't idolize my skin color. I don't idolize a certain group either. Absolutely not. I stand on his righteousness, and I stand on what's true. What's true. And, you know, me speaking out as far as being a black American, and also speaking out how I am a black conservative, and I am not ashamed. I'm not ashamed at all about it. That makes people upset. Makes people really upset. And the name calling, the insults, all this wickedness that they're doing on that side, they don't even realize that they are being used by the enemy when they move like that. So I'm like, well, God, I never fit in with us sisters anyway, if I'm going to be real with you. I really didn't fit in. I tried to, but not really. So I was just like, I don't care. And I laughed at it. I really did. I was just like, you know what, Lord, I'm glad that I'm choosing to be in the lane that honors you and represent you accordingly to your word.
Yeah, chicks get called Uncle Tom, you know what I'm saying? Because people are unoriginal. I guess it would be more logical to possibly call them, I don't know, Auntie Thomasina? Fuck, I don't fucking know. Maybe a mammy. Maybe they can call them a mammy. But yeah, they got their go-to names, I guess. So when in doubt, just call a woman Uncle Tom. But nobody never said these people were going to be the most creative people when it comes to certain shit. I'm trying to play this one video. I'm going to download it and see if I can get it to play. I have no idea what this sister's talking about. I guess we're going to find out in real time in just a few seconds as it's processing. But really, yo, look at the lives and the choices and the family status of the people, or the majority of people that's conservative compared to the majority of people that's liberal. And that alone would show you what makes more sense.
I was told at a very young age that I was conservative. I was told I was a conservative before. I was told at a very young age.
So yeah, this sister said, it says calling all black conservatives. I don't know what she calling them for. I don't know if she finna talk about them or talk to them. I have no idea. But let's find out. Give this sister a chance, and we can see what she's talking about. We're gonna put on the dish right here and rock it like that. Let's go.
Age that I was told at a very young age that I was conservative. I was told I was a conservative before I knew what a conservative really was. You know, I thought conservative people were just people that just dress properly, you know. But no. It's a lot more to being a conservative than most people think, you know. But as a quote unquote black conservative, if that's what I am, I guess, you feel alone, you know? Because there's a lot of dumbass niggas around you. Real shit.
Oh, she funny as fuck. Yes. I can go far to say that I run into more niggas than black people. I could be cool with niggas, but I love black people. Niggas are so, you know, they once they get the nigger in, it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's bad that you run into more niggas than black people, but black people, we awesome. I get along with them so well. You know, I'm one. But niggas, man, they hit or miss. You did, and it's just stay in such a large abundance, unfortunately.
It's a lot more to being a conservative than most people think, you know. But as a quote unquote black conservative, if that's what I am, I guess, you feel alone, you know? Because there's a lot of dumbass niggas around you. Real shit. School systems done fucked up everybody. Real shit. We went to school to get babysat. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you how it is. I've been in the school system in Chicago. I've been in about 6 schools up there. They all was terrible. Every single last one of them. Okay? So you don't learn shit, is what I'm saying. A lot of niggas don't learn shit. I just watched a video today where a nigga said he was going to go get his birth certificate. His birth certificate. Whatever the fuck he said. He didn't even know how to say certificate.
Yo, was she talking to J Prince for president? Was she talking to JP? You know, the one that said specifically and diminish? Is she one talking to JP? Obviously, she probably wasn't. She was talking to a JP type because, you know, we all know some JPs. If you're not familiar with J Prince for president, if you are, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that saying a word like this will fall right into his wheelhouse.
A lot of niggas don't learn shit. I just watched the video today where a nigga said he was going to go get his birth certificate. His birth certificate. Whatever the fuck he said. He didn't even know how to say certificate. And that nigga was like 40. We have a problem, people. So, I guess what I'm trying to say in this video is, are there any other black conservatives that if you identify as a black conservative, can you please like this video? I feel so the fuck alone. And every time I do get black people on my page, they think I'm talking shit about it or trying to be mean or trying to... Because they don't understand what accountability is like. It's really tiring. So can I please get some intelligent black people, please, on my page? I'm not racist. I just want to know if I'm not alone.
You're not alone, sister. You are not alone. I am here with you. And though we fall apart, you are not alone, but you will become extremely isolated in the black community if you are conservative, Republican, or whatever. Even if you are logical, if you believe in hard work and getting out the mud, if you believe in operating in logic over emotion, you will find yourself ostracized and separated from the black community. And you have to be okay with that, because living your life to please and suit and connect with deviants is a bad idea. Many people who didn't have to have fucked up because they wanted the approval of motherfuckers that live off emotion, that live off their lizard brain, that have little to no impulse control. And you wanted their approval, so you started moving like them and didn't have to, and destroyed your motherfucking life. You see that all the time with athletes or rappers who come from a good two-parent home, but to fit in and be accepted and improved, they start absorbing nicotine, and next thing you know, they lost everything they had. And the niggas they were trying to seek approval of probably joking about them now and didn't lose shit because they ain't had shit in the first place. As most 40 and unders are dumb as hell, can't spell, tell time on a clock, read, write, add, multiply, use logic, and blame. Undiagnosed mental health will destroy most people of color. Yes, I completely agree. I completely agree. And not only that, I would add on to it by saying it's way more dumb people out there than we like to admit. Because here's the thing. It goes like this. And I ain't trying to make this a man-woman thing, but the truth is men and women exist in the world. In a simple fact, like when a man is broke, the world will let him know he broke and tell him he broke. When a man is dusty, men and women in the world are going to tell him he dusty. When ask people what does the dusty woman look like, a lot of people get to stuttering and stammering. When ask people what makes a woman broke, what the broke woman look like, a lot of people get to stuttering and stammering. We understand that men can be losers, but society has allowed people to not understand that there are female losers. There are female losers. There are female lames. There are female cornballs. There are female socially awkward. Whatever a man can be, there are the female version of it. but that one don't get highlighted. Therefore, it's going through slipping through the cracks and going unidentified. My point is that there are also females that are dumb as fuck, but they out here being pretty and fine and living life and getting pursued and they can get little jobs and they make it and they get help and all that stuff by dudes, and they just out here dumb as fuck. We know it's dumb ass niggas, but if y'all don't think it ain't a whole bunch of functionally illiterate women walking around here too, because the thing about it is that when I say illiterate or functionally illiterate, you can read, but you're technically illiterate because you're 25, but you read like a 4-year-old. So you ain't illiterate because you can read, but you're functionally illiterate because you don't read nowhere near the level that you should. And the reason I brought up that there's a lot of women like that is just to add on to Coach's point that it's a whole bunch of dumb people, way more than we think. It's way more people than we think that can't do these things. Because like this list that he has up here, most 40 and unders are dumb as hell, can't spell, tell time, clock, read, write, add, multiply, logic, and blame. A lot of people reading this message would envision men. But nah, it's both them motherfuckers. It's both of them. Which makes the number way bigger than what it is. And we can't ignore the other group because they out here in society with us too, being in a way, being all slow and shit. That's just straight up. They out here in the way, being slow as shit.
This internet.
So I'm gonna try to pull up this other video again. I don't know what your sister talking about. She could be on. We gonna find out. This is the thing. Agree or disagree. We gonna watch it and we gonna pick some out of it and see if we can make it make sense.
It's Torres. Happy Black 365. Feliz Domingo. And you know what? Happy Easter to the motherfuckers who celebrate this pagan holiday. Anyhow, listen, escúchame luz labias primero. First, Austin met Cass Pappy. You know Austin is the one in the shadow realm, bitch. He was sent to the sunken place by Carmelo Anthony because he couldn't keep his hands to himself.
If she's talking like that on purpose or not, but I can't understand her. We're gonna give her one more shot. Let me know if y'all can understand her, this accent.
You know Austin is the one in the shadow realm, bitch. He was sent to the sunken place by Carmelo Anthony because he couldn't keep his hands to himself. But his pappy went to, uninvited, went to a press conference that Carmelo Anthony's lawyer and family was holding.
Republicans and Democrats.
It's Torres. Happy Black 365. Feliz Domingo. And you know what? Happy Easter to the motherfuckers who celebrate this pagan holiday. Anyhow, listen, escúchame luz labias primero. First, Austin met Cass Pappy. You know Austin is the one in the shadow realm, bitch. He was sent to the sunken place by Carmelo Anthony because he couldn't keep his hands to himself. But his Pappy went to, uninvited, went to a press conference that Carmelo Anthony's lawyer and family was holding, spitting out facts, and he showed up, bitch, an uninvited guest. He's just like his son. Birds of a feather, caca, together. They had to escort him out. Sir, get your fucking ass out of here. What are you doing here? Hawk, who goes there? Bitch, not you. They escorted you out. You gotta mind your business. You just like your son. You wanna go where he at? Anywho.
Listen to this no more. You need to mind your business just like his son. You want to go where you at. This woman is celebrating and joking about the cold-blooded murder of a teenager. So there's no doubt in my mind that she also celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. You can just see the evil and degenerate behavior in her eyes. And she just her oh, you want to go where he at, that kind of shit about a cold-blooded murder of a teenager lets me know that this ain't a person that I'm gonna listen to over here at all.
To you what it's like being a black conservative. Let me explain to you what it's like being a black conservative. When I go places, people pass judgment on me. And when they pass judgment on me, they usually think that I'm exactly like them based off of my skin color. When I recently went to this new job, I met this woman. She was black, I was black, whatever. And she pointed out the fact that she was so excited that there's more of us here. Now, in my head, I wasn't thinking about color. I was thinking like, oh, like maybe she body builds, maybe she lifts weights, maybe she, does all of these different things besides the fact that we have the same color. Then she went out to berate everybody that worked at the place that were a different color and say that I shouldn't hang out with them because they're this and they're that and whatever. And yet she was so happy because, now that we are the same color, we have to stick together. I stared at her in shock and awe for a couple minutes because little did she know I have a white wife. My kids are mixed, they're different colors, and I don't vote the same way that she votes, and I don't believe the same way that she believes, and I don't share a hate for a different skin color that she has. And so it's so sad when you meet people like this, but being a black conservative, this is so common where people see you and they immediately think that you think the same way that they do. And it's really upsetting. It's actually pretty disappointing. I gotta let my dog in now because he's begging to come in. Let me explain to you what it's like being a black conservative.
Are black conservatives the enemy of black culture? What do y'all think? Are black conservatives doing anything to black people? Are they attacking them? Are they enemies? I honestly see it's funny. The side that's all about being yourself. Here go the irony of this shit, right? The side that promotes being yourself, being true to yourself, living in your truth, respecting others people's choices and how they identify, blah, 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 yada, yada, all that. It's the side that has the least tolerance for someone thinking differently. Seems like they're only okay with what you think, feel, believe, and want to be if what you think, feel, and want to be is something that they like and okay with. So they not for believing. They don't really believe in having this free thought shit. Nope. Because the moment your free thought doesn't correlate with their belief system, you public enemy number one. Public enemy number one.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Like, subscribe, comment, and please share. It doesn't cost you a penny, a nickel, or a dime, and helps the channel grow. I've been talking about this for 2 hours, and I think I beat the hell out of that horse. But it's 7:26. I might got a little more time in me because I'm not going to the gym tonight because I went yesterday, and I work out full body. I do cardio in all the muscle groups, so I don't work out any day anymore. I do day on, day off for a day of recovery. And so it gives me still 4 workout weeks in a day. I go Monday, I go Wednesday, I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes I squeeze in a Saturday or Sunday. So I do double days, but I try to get at least 3 to 4 days, 3 for sure, 4 days sometimes. But at 47, that's a lot of working out. Also, on my off days, it's not like I'm inactive because I'm always standing, always walking, always doing things. And I have no problem just dropping in the house and like knocking out some push-ups and you know, just warming up these muscles, you know. A lot of people want to say they ain't got time and stuff, but listen, the honest truth, if you come holler at me, I might make some videos. I was in the military 15 years. I can show you some full body workout shit where you can get in decent shape and feel good, and you ain't gotta leave the house. I mean, we know that shit exists. People just be lying and cap. Cause I got the DVD set of a guy named Sean T. Sean T from the Hip Hop Abs, and mostly known for the Insanity workout plan. You do all that shit in the comfort of your fucking home, standing right in front of your TV, and you do that Insanity program. You're gonna burn some calories. You're gonna get into shape, and you ain't gotta go no fucking where. So all that, I ain't got time for the gym. I ain't got money for the gym. Blah blah blah. All that, I call cap. I call bullshit. Cause you ain't got time to work out, but you can watch YouTube for 8-9 hours, or you can like stream your favorite shows for fucking hours. But with that said, though, I finna go talk to an old lady. Oh, before we get out of here, I just want to say, don't forget to cultivate yourself. Do some form of self-improvement today. Build a better you, be it physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, whatever. Read, meditate, learn something that you didn't know yesterday. Whatever you were today, the next day you should be a little bit better in some kind of ways, even if it's baby steps. Baby steps are still steps forward. Don't fall for the comparison syndrome. Don't compare yourself to other people. Your steps, your advancement, your gains to other people. You can only do the advancement and gains that's within your capabilities, your time, your energy, and things of that nature, or your whole capacity. So become the best version of you, not the best version of someone else. This shit is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's always a work in progress. You should be working on yourself from the cradle to the motherfucking grave, to your 10 toes up, pushing up daisies, digging the dirt, whatever you want to call it when you no longer with us. You should always be trying to become a better version of yourself. Straight up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Support right there if you want to. Anything from $1 on up. $ Uncle B Streaming. I had fun. It was a good show. I could go on and do some other stuff. However, I got other shit I just want to do. With that said, it's been your boy Uncle B Streaming. Unc been streaming. Now Unc B's out.
I'm doing Unc shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with Unc shit. Type shit. Unc activity. I'm doing Unc shit. young shit.